got sniped apparently. I don't know. Maybe Xbox heard this, got mad. Maybe I got a bot in the chat that tried to take this thing down. I don't know. Let me make sure it loaded back up. I don't know what's going on. Um, it's not even loading back.
Oh, Thrifty's back.
Let me go to my channel because it's not. Okay, it says we back. All right. Man, they couldn't just let me have the 100th upload. Ain't that some bullcrap? Look at that. All right.
Man, they couldn't just let me have the
100th. Oh, hey Nelson, you got to fix that.
That wasn't me.
I know it was.
No. I already
Mello,
canceled it. So I
have no idea what happened. Like it wasn't on my end. On my end, everything showed that it was still linked in, and it was working, and it was great, and it was wonderful. And I get a message from one of the dudes in the chat that's like, "Hey man, it died." And I was like, "Oh, well, shit." So we are back. What we were discussing was Xbox and their failures. If you could hit this like button again, thank y'all for coming back in. Man, we were going good. We're back. 30 PS Gamer Reviews. Got to stop trying to load. That's funny. But can the PlayStation 5 do that? I don't think it can. Anyways,
what?
Because this is live from the PS5, if you remember that. Okay, so here we go. Let's get back in. Hopefully, Tricker, mother of fathers. Hopefully, people will start to trickle back in. Good Lord. I'm gonna put a post up real quick. So, no, Will, what were you saying? What were you saying about Xbox and them trying to, or Phil Spencer's emails about the console wars? Yeah.
So you guys, I just heard me rant. Sorry, I'm about to repeat it. Hopefully, is the same that I said before for the new guys. What I was saying basically is that um, this message went out to the gaming journalists and the Xbox because all these people kept saying how console wars is stupid, how it's the ponies and the bots who started all this shit. When in reality, now we know through these leaks that it was Phil himself, the lead general of this console war bullshit, talking about humbly, I am, basically my anxiety is a little released because PlayStation came out with their specs, and now we know that we're the better company or the better console, not just in hardware but in software. And he's the one leading the charge on this console war. And look, he should be console warring with Sony and Nintendo. He should be console warring with everybody. But to act like they're not, and to act like they're the saints and they're the ones that are trying to unite hands with the industry. It's complete bullshit. This is not hands across the world. This is not hands across the damn world. Like, dude,
we're here for world peace.
Exactly. And then you have these frontline the lieutenants, I call them, these gaming journalists, quote unquote, out here, pointing the fingers at everybody, accusing everybody. They're the best at projecting. Projecting means you project what you're doing onto others. Therefore, other people will believe that they're the ones that are committing the quote unquote crime when it's you. So now we know that Xbox are just as much console warring as the regular Pony or Xbox. We know that Phil Spencer believes that his system is actually better than PlayStation, which we know now that that's a lie, straight up lie.
I don't know if it was a lie. I really don't think they understand the engineering of the PS5. They're not hardware based. Like, they don't know.
But they know software.
They picked
and that's still a lie.
Do they really know software?
They know enough to have a multi-billion-dollar company in gaming.
Who?
Xbox. What do you mean, who else? They know enough about gaming to produce games and know what's good and know what's not.
Do they? I don't know, man.
I don't know. They seem really confident.
I mean,
when you see the shit.
I'm not saying they're good at it. I'm not saying they're good at it. I'm just saying they know enough.
But you
But
did.
you did. You just
No,
did.
You
obviously they're
said
not, dude.
you said
Just
they
look
were
at the
good
facts here.
enough.
They're not
They
good
used
at
to
what they
be.
do at all. I mean, look at the numbers. Look at what they produce. They're not good at what they're doing. They're just not. They're not even good at Windows.
No,
They have
Windows is
just
terrible. That's why I don't have a PC. I
no.
won't
They
buy
just
one either.
manipulated the industry into accepting what they are and what they put out. They have made these backdoor deals. They have made, they have coughed up a lot of money out of pocket in order to put themselves in the position they're in
Back
today.
alley
And
deals
they,
is more like it. Forget
well,
Well,
back
yeah.
door.
yeah,
They
When you
went
go
they
and buy
went in
a
the back door a
PC,
long time ago on their Xbox fan base.
yep,
does your PC come with Windows, or do they ask what operating system you want?
yeah, right.
It's automatic. It's an automatic payment. Like there's not like, oh yeah, no, let me get Flindos or something. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't exist. It comes with Windows or Windows. Those are your options.
Windows or Windows.
But if you want to use
Or
any of the
buy a
cool
Mac.
stuff,
That's
if you want to use
end
any of
of
the good
list.
stuff that they have, because let's be honest, Google is great, but their Google Docs is not as good as Microsoft Word. Their Google
That's pretty
Excel
bad because
is,
Word Perfect in the '90s is still better than fucking Microsoft Word today.
bro, Word Perfect 1995 or even MS Word
It's
98.
still better than Microsoft Word 30 years later.
They need to go back to Microsoft Word from Windows 98. That whole system and all the programs in there were so easy to use, and then they went and made the damn things easy to use, and now I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Dude, that's sad. We're talking about 30 years ago, man. That's just disgusting, dude.
I actually got a clip on a dude
That's
that works.
sickening.
He works with computers. He's like, I'm not even lying. Word Perfect in 1998 is still better than Microsoft Word or Office today. Like
Yeah, Josh, Cerny is a genius. Absolutely, he's a genius.
No,
people don't understand that dude's career too. He's been making games
Yep,
since he was 17,
so
dude.
yep,
Like
here's the
he
thing I'll
worked
say.
on Sonic 2. He worked. I mean, my
yep.
God.
I don't know if Cerny is as much of a genius as he is just a hard worker. And let me explain the difference.
And he's
Because
creative.
because here's the deal. He didn't just walk into there one day and say, "Hey, I'm going to create this console and it's going to be amazing." No. What did he do? He educated us. He went around to all these developers and said,
Yeah,
"Hey,
that wasn't his
what's the
thing.
what's the one thing that you want? What's the one thing that you want?
Hmm.
What's the one thing that you want?" He went down to all of these developers. We want faster load times. We want ray tracing. We want
We need
faster.
more RAM.
We need more
We need to
RAM.
be
We
able
need
to
stuff to
access
load in
RAM.
faster. We need to be able to get this information where we need to get it as fast as we can get it. And then he went back and he goes, okay, I can figure this out. And he put the work in. He put the hard work in. It's very easy for somebody to take a car, rip the engine out, and put you could take a Nissan 200SX and put a V6 twin turbo in that joker. For those who don't know anything about vehicles, you're basically taking a 4 cylinder, making it a 6 cylinder, and when you do that, you get better power, better horsepower, better all this. The problem is that if you don't upgrade the suspension, if you don't upgrade some of the transmission parts, you're going to end up blowing out the transmission. So, same thing here. You can have all the power and everything in the world, but if you don't put
Yeah,
the
but if your
work in,
frequency is low and you're not able to send, you know what I mean, send things from one place
yeah,
to another efficiently, you're losing efficiency.
dude,
You
and
know,
how many, and them being a PC company first, it's really disappointing that they're this
but they don't
dumb.
make PCs.
But
And
listen,
Windows
Software
is a
company.
bloated mess, dude. Like that's why Windows are like Xbox is slow, and like the operating system for Xbox is 200 gigs, and PlayStation 5's is like 65, and it
dude,
runs a lot smoother.
I know, but
Like,
but like okay,
and they're a
so
software company though.
I'm
Oh,
old as heck. What's up, Salty? I am old as hell. Okay, listen to me when I say this. And actually, Nelson, you're older than me, so you'll understand this more. Do you remember back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, where it went from the single core processor, which was already lightning fast for the time, to the dual core processor? And then after the
I remember
dual
talks
core,
about it, but I never was a big PC guy.
so I remember
So
the Intel commercial where it showed the dual core processor with little blue bubbles coming down into it, and they would filter down both sides of the core, showing how fast information moves. And they said in a moving world and this and that, and then it showed a the same processor with 4 channels in it, and how everything just moves so much faster because of it. Okay, so if back then people knew that, hey, the point of these, the big selling point of these things is to be faster, and the way you're faster is by moving information from one place to another seamlessly, why in the hell would 10 years, 20 years later you look at this and go, you know what? Just throw a lot of power in it. Like, what's.
how has that worked out for PC though? Like seriously, hey, seriously though, you know how much like I mean it is impressive card and all that, but the 4090 has like 120 fucking teraflops. Can that bitch do fucking 32K? You know what I'm saying?
No, because
It's
at.
not very for what it's putting out with power and stuff. It's not very goddamn efficient.
So.
It's 10 times more. It's fucking 12 times more powerful than the PS5. Are you getting 12 times the performance? Is it
Well, you
doing
are, because
fucking
it's running all these other live
700 frames
services
per
in the
second?
background. It has to run Norton antivirus. It has to run a malware app. It has to run this. It has to run that. And so, like,
All the pop-ups from fucking Windows.
hey guys, don't hijack my chat with some bullshit talk about Souls games. We're not doing that. God dang it, Salty, coming in here getting asked questions about Souls games and stuff. Those things can go into a dumpster and be burned for all I care. No, actually, Liza P has me interested. I think I might actually want to play it. Like, but still. So we.
But Thrifty, and that's the genius of it all because Cerny, look, it may seem like common sense and logic to us. I'm like, hey, let's figure out exactly what these developers and these publishers and everybody who's involved in this. Let's figure out exactly what they want and let's try to make it happen. But nobody's really doing that, and that's the frustrating part about it all. It's like, dude, logically, that's what you're supposed to be doing, and that is the genius in Cerny is that he is taking the time, he's trying to get the information, he's trying to
He
educate
does have a lot
himself,
of insight though
a
too,
lot of
because I don't know if
insight.
you know this, but Sony has some of their engineers that worked on the cell processor and stuff like that, and worked on their computer division because they don't do much with computers anymore. They work directly with AMD on their member solutions, so they're on the ground floor helping them to develop their memory
And
solutions.
he's also a creative. I mean, I played Knack 1 and Knack 2, and they're pretty good games. I had a blast with my son, and it was creative, especially for the time. We didn't see something like that really. So Cerny did a lot for PlayStation, and the best thing that he's done, in my opinion, is the simplicity of it all. I said this in a couple podcasts ago, where the one thing that really impressed me the most that Sony and Nintendo do is, especially with the PS4, the Switch, the PS5, is getting the console to a point where it's easy or easier to develop. And like I said last
That's
time,
the whole thing with the PS3 was it was a really
yes,
powerful, it was a very, very good piece of technology. But if you don't know how to use it, or it's a hassle to use, you know what I mean? Writing for the goddamn thing, having to give different instructions to different things, and it's like writing in another language that you don't know. You have to learn that language now.
yep. Yeah, no, man. He's doing a
You know what
great
I
job
mean?
at
It's
that, and it's benefited us greatly. I mean, we're seeing games left and right, especially third party indies. I mean, we're getting a good mixture of games because of the simplicity of Cerny, and also it has propped up Nintendo, especially with the Switch, tremendously. I mean, with the platform they're on, also the availability of games. I mean, Nintendo Switch is putting out games left and right. You
Switch
have
has got the most games of any
Yeah,
console ever
because
made.
it's so easy to work on. I mean, you have I saw an interview on Vice, and this was which I don't normally watch, but it was about Spider-Man, 2018 Spider-Man, and basically they went to one of the developers who made the Spider-Man for the I forgot what system, but it was the early 2000 Spider-Man, and they were having him play the new one and like the swinging mechanics and stuff like that. And he was super impressed on how they were able to get the swing mechanics and the loading and all that. But the thing that stood out to me is now what he does, he doesn't work for a big AAA company. He works out of his house. He develops games by himself, and he puts them out on the Switch. He talked about how easy it is for him to get an idea, go to work, develop it on the Switch, put it out, make a little bit of money to keep his lifestyle going, and then if it's popular enough, he'll port it over to the PlayStation because it's easy as well to port it over to PlayStation. Not once did he talk about Xbox. And you see that across the industry where developers from little guys all the way to the big AAAs are saving Xbox for last if they even get to it at all. And then the Switch. I mean, we just had the people for Evil Dead who canceled out their the support for the game, and they also canceled out the Switch version. So if you go through the last couple of years on developers canceling games for other platforms, you'll notice that the two that they cancel out the most is the Xbox number one and the Switch 2. So that leads you to believe that the PlayStation is either, well, one, it's the numbers, they have way more gamers, but two, the the availability or the access to develop these games for the console, the PlayStation seems to slightly edge out the Switch as far as bigger games goes. And that's my 2 cents on Cerny and why I think he's a genius in providing us with these consoles that give us the access to these gorgeous games, including Souls likes as much as I hate them, to the general populace.
Wow,
Dude,
we all agree on something.
Dude, I've been playing Blasphemous and it's been kicking my ass, and I know it's not a Souls like, but fuck, man, I just
Well,
hate
thanks
these
for letting me
games.
know that. I downloaded it yesterday. I'm
No,
deleting
it's good, dude. It's good. Blasphemous 2 is easier. I just bought that a couple days ago, and I played like an hour of it just because of the new weapons and new mechanics. And that game is way easier than the first one. So I'm just trying to knock out this first one out so I can get into the second one. But this is a small indie team, Kickstarter team with the first game, and look what they've done. I mean, with the funds that they have a small documentary on YouTube which I recommend. It's the Gaming Kitchen. It's a Spanish from Spain game developer, and they some of them used to work for bigger AAA companies. They got together to make this game, and it's a very cool game. Blasphemous. It's kind of religious, but not our religion, video game religion, and it's a lot of sacrificing, a lot of blood, a lot of lore, and it's a hack and slash game. It's super good. I recommend it to anybody. It's on PS Plus, by the way, which is how I'm playing it. The first one is, and the second one just released last month in August, and it's $30.
so what do y'all have you seen a company? Well, take Unity out of this. Before Unity, have you seen a company like whiff so hard on a perceived stance? Like, I can't remember ever a time where.
The same guy that made that decision, he wanted to charge for bullets.
Oh yes, yes,
That's the
yes.
same guy,
No,
though.
no, no.
It's
No, no, no. I meant with Phil Spencer looking at the PS5 and going,
oh,
you know what? I think we got this. I haven't seen somebody miss so hard. Actually, I have, and sports fans will know this. What's up, Gaming Night?
well,
Uh,
when you look at a piece of paper and you don't understand what the fuck any of it means, you probably do see that.
I think
but
it's a
no,
combination
listen.
of ignorance and arrogance at the same time, man.
Because listen, like anybody who
He's
knows
still learning.
sports,
Leave him alone.
Yep.
when you go for a quarterback, right? You got to get the best one. You get him in the draft, and then you either are a genius or you're an idiot.
Well, they're
But
the ones drafting Jamarcus Russell. I'll tell you that.
that's exactly who I was going to talk about. Was Jamarcus Russell.
Read your mind.
But like, because I was thinking he's the guy that gained like 95 pounds in the first year in the league and he was a huge bust. But that was a one-time mistake. Then they went out and got Derek Carr. And Derek Carr was a lot better. He wasn't great, but he was a lot better.
He's a hell of a lot
And
better than Jamarcus
so they
Russell.
corrected their mistake. That is Sony PS3 into the PS4. They fixed their mistake and they became a competing franchise. Then you have a team like the Browns, who constantly, when trying to assess situations and assess what's going to be good for the company and assess their competition, look and go, you know what? We can take Johnny Manziel. You know what? We can go
Party
ahead
Yeah,
and.
boy.
Right.
let's take our three first round draft picks that we have and move up for the first overall pick, and then they pick someone and they suck, and then 3 years later, because they're so bad, they trade their next 2 rounds of first rounds to move up to the first position again, and then they pick the first overall pick, and then they suck, and then they get the Johnny Manziel on their third try. So they
I
got
haven't seen a whiff
what?
on a read of a situation so bad outside of the sports world ever. Like, how do you look at this and go, nah, guys, we got this. I just saw their stuff. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. Rah, rah. Let me get my cheerleading pom poms out while I'm drinking my coffee.
Ryan Leaf.
Mitch Trubisky. Like, I can keep going. Like, we can keep going.
Well, that's because
Quincy
they're looking
Carter.
at the numbers specifically, dude. That's all they're doing. And they think that by pushing horsepower, like you use your cat car analogy, they think that they can do the same thing in the console market. But the console market isn't strictly, numbers and engineering. No, it's much more than that, man. There's an art form to this. And that's what they're lacking. Like Steve Jobs said, they're lacking soul. They have nothing that's pushing the industry forward, not in the Microsoft side, not in the Xbox side. They're literally Puerto Rock has the best word for it. They're succubuses. All they do is suck,
They're a
pause, and
virus.
suck, pause, and suck, pause ideas over and over and over again, and they make it worse. When you steal something, you should be trying to make it better. Make it your own. Yeah, they make it their own to shit.
I mean, look at what Samsung did. And this is where some people might get mad at me. But listen, Samsung stole every idea that Apple had and made a phone. Okay?
Yeah, but
They
they did a
just
really good
did.
job.
Really good.
But they did a good job. They and this is
Hey,
coming
I
from
just
an
got
Apple guy.
I just got Samsung S23 because my
Hey,
USB-C port
me
got fucked
too.
up. And guess what? I was like, yeah, I want to get that fixed. And they're like, okay, well, we'll fix it. And they're like, oh, that's attached to the motherboard. Let's get you another S21. You just pay your $100 deductible. And they're like, oh, we don't have any. We're going to have to give you an S23 Ultra for free. And I
That's
was
what
like,
I
oh,
got.
well, fuck, don't twist my titty.
Yep, it's
Don't
great.
don't
You can
what?
send it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll accept that.
Did you say don't twist your what?
Nothing.
Nipple. I'll twist. Purple nurple.
Pause. Like that's what
They
I
didn't.
thought I heard.
They didn't have to push me too hard though. I was okay with it.
Look at
Like,
Riot
excuse me?
Games. They exist off of
Excuse.
copying other people's games. Right. Like, and that's okay. Like, here's the deal. Parody in the gaming world, it freaking happens. It's going to happen. Parody in any medium happens, especially entertainment. You got to think about like when a movie releases, all of a sudden you'll see, what's up, Ron? All of a sudden you'll see like four more movies of the same like type theme plot all that within the same year. Like if you have an animated movie about, I remember one year it was like, I have children so please understand this, they have like Cats and Dogs came out, and then another movie that was just like Cats and Dogs was from a different company came out, and then another like smaller budget cat and dog movie came out, and like it happens, it's going to happen. Look at Souls likes titles. There are
Yep.
two or three of those bastards a year that are not made by FromSoft.
Oh,
Parody
more than that, man.
happens, but the problem is when parody turns into failure, because parody is good. I like a lot of rap and I like a lot of the same style of rap, and it's a lot of guys that write their own stuff, do their own lyrics, make their own tracks, lay their own vocals, do their own mixing. I like that. I like that kind of homegrown feel to it. But a lot of them, they sound very similar. But it's okay because I like that. A buddy of mine used to always tell me that Disturbed, one of my favorite bands, he goes, man, all their
Me
songs sound
too.
alike.
Me
And I'm like,
three.
yeah, but all their songs are fucking amazing. Like, who
Fire.
cares if they sound alike?
Yep.
And then they release their newer stuff, and they're getting into their what I call the rock ballad area, where every rock group has to at some point start releasing ballads. And the thing is their lead singer, Drennan, what's his name? Anyways, that dude can actually sing really, really well. Anyways, off
Hey, the
topic.
Sound of Silence is going to be at my funeral. I already have 3 people that have been notified.
Oh, it's such a good song. Anyway, so that's what parody brings, though, right? Why do I say that rock musicians always go through this thing where they do ballads? Because if you look at anybody who has more than 5 albums, there's always an album that's kind of more ballady, like Kiss. Even they did a ballad album. AC/DC has a few ballad songs. Like, it's just what happens.
Okay,
And
first off, don't
so
let people fool you with ballads. They're
Looking.
usually the best selling. So that means that a lot of people like it. So stop it, guys.
my mom's favorite song from Kiss, and the only song she liked from Kiss, was the song Beth, which was one of their ballads.
That's a great song.
My mom absolutely loved it, but she didn't really like anything else. And like, so anyways, the parody thing, getting back into gaming, I'm okay with parody. I'm okay with Xbox going, you know what, that haptic shit, that's really cool, and we're gonna take it. But the problem that I have is when they look at us for for 3 years, and they sit there
And say,
and
well, they're stupid.
they go, this is stupid.
Yes.
This is just a gimmick. We don't need that in
Yep.
our controller. We don't need that. We don't need this.
Blow
Our
on it.
stuff
You're
sounds
blowing on
fine.
it.
We don't need any of that. It's great haptic feedback. That's just a gimmick. Your mid-gen refresh is coming with it. It's not a gimmick. It brings me into the game when I pull back on a trigger, and depending on how hard or how soft I pull it, pause, it ends up changing how fast the gun fires or how
Dude,
much the
Xbox
bowstring
itself
pulls
is a
back.
gimmick. The whole
Like,
company is a damn gimmick. Stop it.
the whole company's a gimmick. Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. There was a time where you could look at a game like Halo and start talking about other shooters and compare them to Halo and go, that's the gold standard. That's what multiplayer shooters should be. That's where it's supposed to go. That's how this is supposed to be. And every game that came out, well, how's the multiplayer? Is it like Halo? It's not as good, but it's okay in this area. Or hey, is it like Halo? Well, I mean, sort of, but nothing ever quite got there. Liza P, is it going to be like Elden Ring? Probably not. Is it going to be like a Bloodborne? Probably not, but it probably does some things good. Parody
It
is
probably does it
okay.
well for an indie budget, you know? This.
Right. Parody is great when you
A lot of
don't
people are
screw it up.
actually, a lot of reviews are coming in heavy on Lies of P's. They're saying even people that don't, I mean, I would never play it. I tried the demo. I think it's trash. Not the mechanics, of course, but the whole Soulsborne
The
thing.
skill level
But
of the players,
the
let's
skill,
call it what it
dude.
is.
Okay, that's another.
I'm not a
Can we
patient
take
person,
like
and those
two
are very.
minutes to talk about Get Good real fast? Because this shit pisses me the hell off. You guys know me. You guys see my gaming. You see me gaming almost every single day for hours. All right. It's not about get good.
Let's see
It's
that
a
get good in chat for Will. Let's see that get good. Troll his ass. Come on, get good. Go ahead, Will.
it's just
Get
frustrating, bro, because
responsibilities. Okay,
there's
fucking.
like Nelson, what's the game that we co-op with Jerk
Oh,
Chicken?
Remnant. Remnant 2. I
Remnant.
still got a long way to go. Yeah.
So Remnant
It's
2
a hard
is
game, but it's
it's a
fair.
hard game, but it's a fair game. These Elden Ring games and these Soulsborne games, they're not fair. They're just killing you just to do it, and that's what I have a problem with. If there's a way I can get good, then I'm gonna try to get good. Blasphemous 1. Dude, I've been on this level since the podcast started an hour ago, and I'm just now getting into the next level. I've been dying over and over again. But guess what? Every time I die, I learn something new. People say, well, you could do that with Elden Rings too. Yeah, but how many times does it take? 100? 200 times? I mean, God, they even made with a cultural thing with what's her name,
Dude, I spent
Medina.
4 hours in a courtyard or something like that in Bloodborne. A courtyard, dude. And like one of the last two people would like always kill me. I spent 4.5 hours in a square that I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
Just
nah,
I'm
bro,
done.
it's
Four
bullshit.
hours, dude. There's only like four enemies there, but one would like come out of like I won't even see him on the screen. And all of a sudden, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm through here now." From the back, like what the fuck,
And
dude?
mind you, guys, that how much time do you really want to spend on this when you have
A
Cyberpunk,
100,000 games.
game coming out next week, DLC. You have Spider-Man coming out. You have. I mean, there's just so many damn games. Forza, Forza coming out again for the fourth time this generation. You have so many damn games. So at one point, you just say, you know what, I gotta move on.
So, you know, just like what Xbox wishes would happen right now, we kind of got off topic and started talking about some other stuff, which is totally cool. Let's go ahead and pull it back in because the next topic of the night is still we're almost to the good news, guys. We're almost to the good stuff where we as PS5 gamers get to eat really well next year, but we'll get there in a second. So, obviously Phil Spencer had to come out and say something because he can't just keep his mouth shut. He needs to know there's a secondary option that you don't have to talk. Like you don't have to say anything. I tell my 9-year-old that all the time when we're talking. Like, dude, you don't have to have a response for everything I say to you. So Phil needs to take the advice for a 9-year-old and just shut up sometimes. So listen to this. This is how Phil Spencer tries to cope and tries to what's that? Oh, lie. That's the word. Phil Spencer. We have seen the conversation around old emails and documents that were just presented as evidence in a trial that happened about 4 months ago. We have seen around old emails and documents. It's hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed. How much has changed in 6 months, my guy? How much?
I
Ridiculous.
How
think they're a
much?
couple years old, but they don't change.
No,
Like
not
that's
all of
the
them are.
problem.
Not all of the
Okay.
emails are a couple years old. Not all of the leaks are a couple years old.
Yep.
The mid-gen refresh, not a couple years old. The haptic feedback, not a couple years old. Still wanting to buy Nintendo? Yeah, that dude can say whatever the hell he wants. That is still a
They've
goal
been
of
on that for
theirs.
20 years.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard to see our team's hard work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready. Whoa,
The
hang on.
plans they want you to hear, not the real plans.
So wait a minute.
Let's be honest.
The real plans?
That's not
So what's the shit you gave the FTC? Is this are these the fake plans? Are these are these the dupe plans? Are these the hey, these are the plans that we're going to show to the public because this is what we want them to think? Like, is this a lie? Did you submit false documents? Like, or are you just a freaking buffoon and don't know what the heck you're doing? Also, buffoon is a great word and we do not use it enough. But
I
like,
agree. I haven't used it
what
in a
is
minute.
this? Share the real plans when we are ready. The real ones, guys. Hey, don't worry. The Xbox trash can, it's not coming out. Those are fake plans. All of the goals that we have for cloud, all of that's fake. Those are fake plans. As a matter of fact, the contracts are still fake because we actually don't own that company. Everything's fake over here, guys. 60 frames per second on Redfall, that's fake. What else? Oh yeah, we're actually not working on Perfect Dark. But like all of it is fake. It's fake.
Oh yeah, God, they showed that so many years ago, and
You
it's
know,
like
if
all they showing is a person like sliding and there's a chick.
if they did come out and say that Perfect Dark and all these games are fake, I would believe it. I would absolutely
I
believe it.
I
I'm like,
wouldn't
yep,
believe
I
them if
knew
they
it.
said they weren't.
Dude,
Like,
you can't believe anything they say, man, because look, actions speak louder than words, and what have they done? They have done absolutely nothing. And every little bit of goodwill that they do, on a scale of 1 to 100, if they put out a 1 scale in goodwill, that's just enough to keep the lieutenants, meaning the gaming journalists, and the grunts, the bots, going and gaslighting each other about how well Xbox is doing. And to go what you were saying on how much Phil Spencer's a buffoon, at a certain point you have to say to yourself, is he a buffoon or is this
Yeah.
malicious?
no.
Oh,
That's the Stockholm syndrome thing that I was talking about earlier. Like at this point,
yeah.
the
Who's the dumb one,
abuser.
really though?
Right. At this point, the abuser though is looking at them and going, "Oh yeah, no. See, all of that stuff that was fake. She saw me kissing on the sofa. Wasn't me.
Was
She
that
like that's what.
me?
That's
It
literally
wasn't
what's
me.
going on
No,
here.
actually, dude, it's actually I don't know if you've seen this. I posted this a while back, but on fucking Twitter, this dude is making out with this chick. All of a sudden, his girlfriend's walking down the dock. He's on a big ass boat. And he takes the chick and fucking throws her ass in the water, and she's like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "Who? What the fuck you talking about?" Like fucking, he threw her right off the fucking boat, dude, into the ocean. And he's like, "What are you talking about? Who are you talking about?"
It wasn't
So,
me.
and then he talks about old emails and documents, and now it's hard to see our team's hard work shared in this way. So, are these documents? Is this real work that y'all have put in, and y'all are really working for this, and it is hard work, and now the hard work is spoiled, or is this not hard work, and it's old emails, and y'all have moved on into a different direction? Like this
Bro, I
whole
can't.
Like, all you have to do is look at this like a logical human being and read this, and I guarantee if my boss sent me something like this that said, hey, listen, the email that you saw and the email exchange between me and my supervisor about not giving raises this year and not actually being able to do what we want to, all of that, those are old emails. We're ready to share our real plans with you. We're sorry you had to see all the hard work we're putting in this. I would go, excuse me, sir. What do you mean real plans?
Yep.
Because I didn't like the first plans, and if you're going to give me a raise, just tell me you're giving me a raise, and if there's other plans, we're still not okay. So, like, no matter how you slice this, Xbox has done screwed themselves, and it's Microsoft that did it. They're the
But
ones
their
that
fans
leaked it.
won't care.
Why? Why not? Why?
Hey, let me tell you, if you stuck around for this long, you're never going anywhere.
It.
It's like a chick whose husband's already sent her to the hospital like 7 times. She ain't going nowhere, dude. Like, you can console her, you can tell her she ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? He already put you into the ER 7 times, dude. Like, she ain't going nowhere.
Right.
You can send her to therapy. You can fucking she's gonna keep coming back.
And so that's the problem. There was nobody coming out about this. There was nobody talking about this. People were harder on Redfall than they are on this. And Redfall is just a product of their stupidity. This shows the actual start of their stupidity. Like, this is when you can start to see exactly, you're kind of pulling the curtain back and going, "Oh wow. It's 3 monkeys having a shit fight at the zoo. That's what we have here." What's that monkey holding coffee for? Don't worry about him. He's the assistant. He makes sure everything runs fine. What's the one over here banging his chest and now he's apologizing? Oh, don't worry. He's the leader. He's the leader. He's the leader. Like, that's all he does. He comes out, bangs his chest, says stupid shit, and then apologizes.
Talks, and then I'm sorry. We're sorry. We'll do better. We're learning. We're improving. We're making changes. God, you've been saying that for 10 years, my guy.
Listen.
At one point, you just know some people don't. They won't change.
I don't know if y'all are married. Actually, I know that one of y'all is. I don't know if you're married. But
no, I'm not married.
If you tell your wife that you're going to change, and 10 years later, you haven't made any progress, and as a matter of fact, you've gone backwards, Nelson, what's going to happen? What would happen?
Well, you won't be married anymore.
You won't be married anymore. Why not? Because generally speaking, we don't marry stupid women. They're not going to sit here and take that. But as where an Xbox fan is delusional and gets tattoos on their asses and loves everything that Xbox has and kisses the ground that Phil walks on and kisses his shoes like some jive coolie from back talking to Sho'nuff in The Last Dragon. Google that movie if you don't know about it. It's a phenomenal movie.
Great movie.
But, like, you're kissing his shoes. He ain't giving you good games, but you're kissing his Stacey Adams.
Thrifty, that's the whole point of it all, man. It's like, no matter how much we scream from the mountaintop and trying to warn people and tell people, and look, we don't even got to warn them anymore.
Oh,
they don't do that, though. They don't do that kind of thing, though.
You're a pony. Hey, don't play that other one, man. That's Jez's. I'm not taking that from him.
No, that's the clip I have though. I couldn't cut it off.
Okay, I got you. No. That's Jez's. I don't want to take his thing. That's his.
That's hilarious, dude.
But it really is. Like,
you know what's funny? That dude followed me after I posted something on that, like right when it came out.
Well, of course he did.
I was like,
he's
okay,
trying to.
You're not gonna like me, but you can follow me. But I'm just warning you.
Right. He's trying to get his. He's trying to use it to boost his Twitter. He's trying to use it to boost his social media. Like, it makes sense.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
called
he used me in one of his videos.
Yeah, it's called Scream Reaction is what it is. And that's what you do if you want to get your numbers up. That's why whenever I get louder...
that Marlon Gaming does that shit all the time.
Dude, I guarantee you. Let's see, what's tonight's stream at? Let's see. Last week we had a maximum of 15 people in here. Tonight we have 20, and I think I saw at one point we had like 24. When you start screaming and yelling, for some reason the algorithm goes, "Oh shit, this guy's really onto something. Let's send more people
This
to him."
guy's really excited. What's happening?
And so when you start talking about stuff and you get real passionate, that's what it is. On a normal Thoughts with Thrifty night, where I'm calm and chill and just pointing out stupidity in news articles, that doesn't happen. But like, so this this level of, call it coping, call it lying, call it whatever you want. This level of delusion has been present for at least 3 years now. 4 years. No, three.
Longer
three
than
years.
that, since I'd say at least at the earliest 2015 or latest, I'd say 2015.
Well, and my thing is I get called pony, hater, this, that, blubbity, blubbity, blobbity, gobbity goo.
Bro, I considered getting an Xbox over a PS5 first because the way I looked at it was I was like, okay, look, Xbox basically took a fucking generation off. Let's be real. Like they just fucking took it off. They took vacation for
They
a
also
fucking
took it on the
decade
chin,
almost.
but that's okay.
And I looked at PlayStation and I'm just kind of looking at things from a. I wasn't as pissed then. I mean, about a 1X, and that became a goddamn fuck. It was just like I played third parties on, and I got a little more resolution. I'm like, but I got fucking nothing from Xbox themselves from the fucking thing. Anyways, I'm done with that. Okay, so fuck. But the way I looked at it was like, okay, Xbox took the entire fucking generation off, right? Sony is launching, like, they got fucking, like, just 2020. Just look at 2020. And I'm gonna go by published and first party, but fucking they had Last of Us 2. Neo 2, fucking Final Fantasy 7 Remake, fucking Ghost of Tsushima, Miles Morales, Demon Souls, Sackboy, and there's probably another one I'm fucking forgetting. But my God in heaven, that was better than the last 12 years of Xbox that year alone. And I'm looking at it like, look at 2019 was good, not great. 2018 fucking phenomenal. You know what I mean? I'm just like, they've just been laying fucking nukes everywhere, you know, and I'm looking at like they're gonna have a a recession at some point of where they're gonna the pipeline to catch back up, and I'm looking at the Xbox, I'm like, well, they haven't had a pipe.
No, they're taking pipe.
But so I'm like, they gotta have a lot of games coming because, well, they haven't done anything in fucking almost a decade, and boy, we're still here today, and I'm still saying that. But I was like, oh, they got Hellblade coming out in 2021, and they got fucking Fables coming out in 2022, and what year are we in now? I don't remember. And I don't. But you get my point.
Guys, I have high quality guests. I have high quality guests every week. We don't even know what year we're living in. Welcome to Thrifty's Gaming News Podcast.
Because I'm always like, wait a minute, this was supposed to come out 3, 4, 7. What? When was this? Where are we? Like, you know what I mean? It's like Hellblade. Everyone's like fall 2021. Fucking Fable, spring 2020. You know what I mean? And it's 2023, and we've seen a clip. What?
So, guys, hit that like button. There's a lot of folks in here right now. Go ahead and smash that like button.
I might be dead before these come out.
Will, are you still here?
Yeah, man.
Okay, something showed me that you got disconnected, but apparently you're still here. Sweet. So, what are your this email? What's kind of your position on it? What's your take on it? I know you like to go off on rants. I will give you the floor and let you do so. What's your thoughts on this email or Twitter X post that he did?
You know, I honestly, like I mentioned earlier, either it's complete buffoonery or malicious. And I honestly think it's not buffoonery anymore because as much as a narcissist, hears it from other people, of course he'll say everybody's wrong. But when you hear it over and over and over again, that plants a seed in you. So no matter how stupid Phil Spencer may be or we think he is, I don't think that it's ignorance. I actually think it's malicious. What I think he's actually doing is he's looking out for himself. He's leaving a paper trail. So when all this shit collapses on him, he can say, "Look, when Sony announced their console, I for real thought that we were doing better than them, not just in hardware, but in software. Oh, hey, look, I'm releasing this email today because we had no idea that this information got leaked. And by the way, all this information you guys saw, that's old news. That was just us brainstorming. Yeah, brainstorming so much that you had to put it in email format and send it to people. It's like any
Dude, everyone's talking about the Nintendo thing, but nobody's saying anything about Valve where they could really fucking corner the PC market and make the Steam
What
front
up,
fucking
Valve kind of
Jez?
a
already
Windows front.
does. Valve already kind of does, anyways. But yeah,
That's
no,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying, but what if they buy Valve? Don't you understand what I'm saying?
yeah, but they're not going to. I mean, they can
That's a lot
try.
cheaper than fucking Activision. I'm
It
just
is,
saying.
but if they can't even produce Microsoft Word, they're gonna be able to run Valve. I don't
Hey,
think
the
so.
only good thing is that it'll take them a whole lot less time to ruin Activision than it has for them to ruin Bethesda.
Oh, Activision's already ruined, but
Exactly. So, this is that bullshit that we have to deal with. Around old emails, hard to see our team's hard work shared this way. Come on. F off, man.
oh, bro.
They're either old emails that are hard work that you don't want spoiled yet, which means you're still working on it. Don't act like you're not. Don't tell us about some bullshit real plans when that means that these are the fake plans, because if something is real and you're comparing it to something else, that implies that the other thing that's the same thing is fake. So those
Dude,
plans are
Xbox is
fake, these
just
plans are
treating
real.
gamers like they're stupid. You know, they're just so.
Has the
It's the
Xbox fan base showed them anything else?
no. Well,
I
that's the
was just gonna
thing.
say, have they shown any difference?
But at a certain
If you,
point, you know, if you keep beating up on a weaker opponent, Xbox, you you kind of start to feel bad. Like, okay, look, dude, just go home. I don't want to keep kicking your ass. But the bots keep coming back. Like, I could take another hit, coach. It's and
See,
the
and
worst part of
that
it
ship
all
sailed for me. That ship
is
sailed for me.
nobody is calling them out on it, dude. None of these so-called journalists, none of these industry people. At a certain point, we all have to hold ourselves accountable because there's only so much PlayStation gamers can keep doing and calling out these people, and some of the Xbox gamers that do play on the platform keep calling out Xbox on their fuckery. We need more people to get involved. You know, just like when the whole Unity thing came out, everybody got involved in it. Everybody, and look at the change that happened within a few days. You know, so I think we all gotta just keep shitting on Xbox. I mean, that's praise them. They have done nothing
like
for us to
like
praise
I
them.
said about the abusive wife thing, like they're not going anywhere. If you haven't left by now, you're not going to.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that's my thing. If you haven't left right
Till
now,
death do us part.
like, and here's the deal. You know, Doc Dark is one of the Xbox fanboys that I actually partially respect when I watch his stuff. I think
He's
he's
on both
good.
my friends list.
I think he's
He,
really good. He's been
I've
on
pinned him into corners
Salty's
a few
show.
times, and yeah, he jokingly is like, "God damn you, Nelson."
Yeah, I mean, he's a good dude. I have no ill will towards the guy.
Yeah, he admits when I got him cornered.
He admits when Xbox has done rammed it up too. But like, outside of him, I don't see a lot of other people coming out and talking about nothing negative at all. Starfield, it's a great game. It sucks. It's getting review bombed. Yeah, but
But
I had fun. Like,
the thing
come
with Doc
on.
Dark, that's and not him specifically, but I'm using him as an example since we're talking about him, is the same thing a lot of Xbox do. They're newer to gaming, or they're newer to the platform, or they're
Yeah, and he
newer to
just
the
doesn't have very
seriousness
good
of it
taste
all.
in games.
And so they think Game Pass is is the holy grail of gaming because
Yeah,
there's
if
a
you didn't
lot of
play
games
any
you
of the
have to
360
experience.
games, if you didn't play any of the OG, and you got all that shit on the library,
But
there's a ton of
Nelson,
shit to play on there. But
2020, Christmas 2020, what 23? There we go again. Me with a year. 2022, I got my son a Series S for Christmas, and the reason I got him that is because it was cheap and he had a Switch, so this was going to be a secondary. I was kind of excited because this would be the first time ever in my life that I played an Xbox game. A month later, I was done. What else is there to play? Literally a month. And this is the first time gamer of Xbox. I beat all the Halos. I beat all the not the Forces. I'm not really into driving, but I did play one of them. All the Gears of Wars, which I love. I love these games. The only game out
Oh,
of
I
the
love Gears of
trilogy
War.
I didn't
1 through
finish
3.
Infinite, Halo Infinite. I didn't finish that one. I got halfway through. I'm like, fuck this. This game's ass. But all the other Halos, they're tremendous. All the Gears, tremendous. But I beat those and a
4 is
couple
not very
others,
good.
and I'm like, what the hell is there else to play? Third party, I got my PS5 for that, which runs these games way better than the Xbox does.
You get more out
Hey,
of your
hey
storage
guys, I'm
too,
gonna be
and
bringing Jez
haptics.
in here.
All
Jez wants to come
right.
in, so
Oh, is he gonna yell at me for stealing his clip? Shit.
I don't know. Probably he's probably gonna yell at me for allowing it. But this is a guy who has used to be on the Xbox camp. All of y'all know him. All of y'all love him. He has been Sony for a while because Sony is actually doing great games. And actually, I'm gonna rephrase that. He's been great games for a while. He doesn't care about either company. He knows both of them lie. Let's get him on, Jez. I'm sending the invite right now. Um, and I really would love to hear some of his thoughts. What's up, Jez?
Yo, what's up, guys? How you
Yo,
doing?
he's in the Spider-Man mood. What's up?
The
There
man.
you
Yo,
go.
what's up? How
Oh,
you guys up to, man? Good
nothing,
show,
man.
man. You guys are killing it.
I'm angry.
Yeah, man. That's what grinds your gears, man. That's
We're,
that's that's what it's
we're
all about.
pissed off and we're angry. So, what do you think? Like, I know you have thoughts on this. I heard your show. What about Phil's response today and everything that he's talked about? Or sorry, yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, you know, it was one point that you made that I was just like really like honed in on was the fact that you like these old emails, and it's like this is court documents that they're uploading, so they're showing intention and everything like that. Like these are not like fake. Is this like a dupe to them? Yeah, we're just gonna send these documents. But we got the real plans back here. Like no, man, this is their roadmap. This is their plans. Like I don't understand how
Oh,
it's
we
like
changed
the
last
real
week.
stuff.
We're changing
Yeah.
everything. Like
They're changing all the
Changing
time.
everything.
Yeah,
It's
it feels
totally
like
different.
scrap with that deal. You know what? Don't make it a cylinder anymore. Make it a friggin' X. You know, like I tell you, the thing is like Phil got caught with his pants down. Phil Ness exposed. You know, and these emails show. See, what I think is very very telling is that the guy's winning awards, bitch. Like he's winning awards, the Green Award, the Dalai Lama Award. He's winning all these bullshit awards, but behind the scenes, he's a sneaky son of a bitch, and he wants to own the industry. And you know, the thing is that he's really comes off as this front that he's like knows the best, and meanwhile they're the worst. And it does show in his emails that he really runs the show over there. What's his name? Satya, Amy Hood. They have no goddamn clue what the hell the gaming division is.
no, it's whatever
Phil Spencer
fucking he
runs
says is what
circles
he's gonna
around
do.
them.
He's just like,
Yeah.
oh, trust me, it's a good idea. And he's
Yeah,
like,
it's a good
okay,
idea.
okay,
Like,
you go do it. You go do it. You go do that, Phil.
In that friggin' email, it's like Nintendo, Time Warner, and ZeniMax. Do all three of them. They say fine. Go ahead. Like,
They even
I'm like,
said
really?
Valve. That is fucking like that. That is
I can't
like,
believe
they're
he
trying
said
to,
Valve.
They're trying to
Valve,
Windows
yeah.
the fucking goddamn the PC gaming market.
They are like they are so. And again, it comes from a point of desperation. There's no strategy in this stuff. The only strategy is that you got these names under your belt and you could do something with them. Because you even see with Bethesda, there's no strategy. What was their strategy? Redfall should have been part of their lineup and something that they kept an eye on. Instead, they were hands off ass first and just let that thing goddamn ride. And look what happened to it. You know, that should have
just like
been
Mojang.
part
They
of the
haven't
roadmap.
done anything good since they bought Mojang, but they're still making money off of it. So fuck it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And that's what they want, everything. They want everything to just be the set it and forget it. Like, these people know how to make
Auto
games we don't
generation,
know.
like Windows.
Dude, that's exactly. They Windows-fied Xbox. That's exactly what they want to do. You know, corporations just use it because it's default. That's what they want. And they want everybody just to kind of fall in line and need them. And you see in his emails, he talks about relevancy. He wants to be relevant. You know, it's not even that they want to be dominant or add to the gaming world. They want to be relevant in gaming. After over 20 years, he wants relevancy in gaming. Dude, if you're not relevant after 20 years, you're time to wrap it up. looking for relevancy now, 22 years later.
2027.
2027.
Dude,
That might
there
be
it
the end of
is.
this whole thing. Like 2027.
I
2027.
remember,
And
I watched an interview with Shane Kim back in like 2014. He was like, man, like with the Xbox One and all that shit that happened, it really like hurt me because I spent a lot of time like building up what Xbox was and what Xbox meant, and just kind of watched it crumble and never really recovered. And like you could tell he was like emotionally hurt.
They all were. Even Seamus Blackley like came out and stuff like that.
Oh
And
yeah,
was
I
like,
got some
this
clips
is,
on him. I can send you, Jez. Woo!
Yeah, dude. Like he was all about like the first party because it was all about first party games and Xbox. And it was during when Phil was going around putting this stuff on PC, and he's like, you know how much Shane Kim, not Shane Kim, but like Seamus Blackley had to fight Bill Gates to make Xbox not a PC, and they just wasted all that
Yeah, because
time.
they were like, it's not gonna work because it's gonna boot up for like goddamn 2 minutes. Like at consoles, you want
Exactly.
like a couple. Yeah, I've read a lot of that.
Bill Gates
Plus, I watched the
wanted it
interview
to
with him.
be, he wanted it to be a PC. Like, oh, we'll put Windows on it. And they're like, no, this can't be a Windows device. This has to be, we'll put kernel on it, but this has to be its own thing. We can't just slap Windows CE on it and call it a gaming machine. And they fought tooth and nail to get that. And then to see Phil just wipe their ass and go, Xbox is PC, PC's Xbox, those guys must have been like, you got to be kidding me. Like, dude,
Well, I think that's
we
part of the
spent the whole
reason
career.
why he's kept his job, because Phil is telling them exactly what they want to hear. So you have on one side where the numbers are shit, but then on the other side you got Phil telling them exactly what Bill Gates and everybody else over in upper management at
Oh,
Xbox wanted to
yeah.
hear. So he's still there. So I think, like I said, I think this is malicious. I think Phil is just covering his tracks and he's just waiting his time to get that big payout so he can ride off into the sunset and go fuck up another company once he decides to get back into the
Nah, I
workforce.
think he'll retire, dude. Like he
Oh, he
he's
has
been-
tons of years there.
Yeah, he's been.
Once he buys
he worked
Nintendo,
in the,
he
like,
said
the
that he's
finance
done.
or whatever.
Yeah.
once he buys Nintendo, that's
CEO
right.
He
of
said that
fucking
would be
the
a
world.
career highlight to buy
Yep.
Nintendo.
Disgusting.
Meanwhile, and this is what kills me. He's been there the whole time, right? The fact that him wanting to buy Nintendo will be a career highlight. They wanted to buy Nintendo before they even made the Xbox. As soon as they got the approval of the hardware, they went to go try to buy Nintendo, and they didn't. And when that happened, they did the whole anniversary show on this thing. When that happened, they were said, "Oh shit, we got to do this ourselves," and that made them develop their own first-party games and stuff, and make Halo and develop Halo and all these games. Well, they didn't develop Halo, but like they said, we got to get our own games. We can't just buy Nintendo, and that's where the Xbox came in today. Like, it wouldn't be what it was if they just would have just bought Nintendo. It forced them to kind of say, we got to do this ourselves and create that. Now, if he was there from the beginning and saw that, why the hell will buying Nintendo now be a career highlight when the fact that you didn't get Nintendo is the reason why Xbox is still here today, because you made it have an identity. You were forced now to do its own thing, not just take from Nintendo. It makes
So
no
we
sense.
were actually we were talking about that earlier, how all of this happened. You know, back in the day, you would compare other shooters to Halo because they took a formula, they made it better, and Halo became the new standard for that multi-platform, or for that multiplayer shooter. And
Yeah, but they also fucked Bungie the day they bought him. Like they told
Well,
them
right.
it was going to
Oh,
go
they
to, go to
did
net.
that.
They
I got
used to
Seamus Blackley
take
saying that
things-
on I got clips.
they used to take things and innovate and make them better and set a standard. And for the last 13 years, they've taken things, chewed them up, spit them out, and they're a former shell of themselves. And then eventually that thing stops working and they have to get rid of it or have to mold it into something,
They gotta
a
go find
support
someone new
studio.
to
How many fucking
to leech
support
off of.
studios do you need? That's my question. They have all these studios running support. How many do you need? Like, how it shouldn't be that
Well, they don't.
freaking
That's the
hard.
problem is they have creative studios. You should have support studios that do support studios. You don't have studios that are supposed to be main game making studios helping other studios. They don't have a what do you want to call it, like a XDev and fucking visual, God damn it, what's the name of them? Visual arts and shit like that. They don't have that kind of shit. They don't have the structure for that.
They're just barely doing enough to keep afloat. That's all they're doing. I feel like they're dragging out something. The inevitable.
You can
maybe.
tell by their emails too. All these studios that they fucking bought like fucking 5-6 years ago, they're gonna be gone.
Well,
Guys,
that
they're
was the
getting
thing I said
themselves-
yesterday. Was that they're like of all these leaked emails and stuff. There's not one thing talking about their first party games in any of those studios that they bought.
No Fable
Nothing,
shit. No, oh yeah, this is gonna help us. No, they don't
nothing
exist.
about Fable. Nothing. It's like they don't even exist. Like Hellblade. Like Hellblade will be a good game in a couple of years. Dude, the only game lineup was the stuff for the people they wanted to buy.
Exactly. Look at where they are now. We ain't seen shit from anything except for fucking the shit that
and they lied.
Deep in
Dude,
the works.
get ready about it. Fable. Remember that he's sitting on the couch going, "What do you mean that wasn't real gameplay?" Yeah, let's see when Fable comes out if that was real.
All they
gameplay.
had was that. Yeah, exactly. They always show this goddamn trailer.
Gameplay.
And, dude, they've gotten me enough times. I'm not a fast learner, but I do
real
learn. Goddamn
gameplay,
it,
dude.
like,
no.
You know what I mean? You've tricked me enough times that like you can't.
Yeah, just like he was playing Perfect something. With, like, dude,
right?
he's playing Perfect Dark with Drew Murray. Like, you know, that was
like fucking 2019.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I won $300 off that though because my buddy was like, "Oh, they're gonna take this initiative team and they're gonna make like an Uncharted and they're gonna be better than Naughty Dog." And I was like, "I'll put 300 on it right now that they end up making Perfect Dark." And he goes, "I don't even know what Perfect Dark is." I was like, "Just take the bet then."
It makes no
sense.
He
took the bet and I won $300. I did that in 2019.
But what you say about the Perfect Dark, right? The thing is who builds a brand new team of people who never made a first-person shooter, who never done...
And give them an old IP from a studio.
And give them an old IP, and then on top of that, then say, well, Crystal Dynamics is going to help you make it. You're going to co-develop it with a third-party developer.
And now Crystal Dynamics is cut down to like
dude,
fucking...
Perfect Dark is done.
Dude.
And that's what happens when you don't do it yourself. When you outsource it, you get now problems. Embracer, whatever, bought them, and guess what? They made Tomb Raider priority. Perfect Dark didn't become the priority anymore. Then on top of that, you got Rare sitting there doing whatever with Sea of Thieves, and you give Perfect Dark to the initiative. Like, it makes no sense. Secondly, you get Turn 10. After you shut down goddamn Lionhead, you give a racing studio Fable. Who makes these decisions?
Yeah.
And then Jez,
those were old.
What are you talking about? I want Polyphony Digital to make the next Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's
like,
sarcasm.
Yeah,
that's
I want Santa Monica to make the next Gran Turismo. Like, it makes no goddamn sense. It makes no sense. And they are. Oh my god. They have no strategy.
Here's the real question, and here's the thing that I asked like 8 months ago, the thing that I asked about 5 months ago, the thing that I'm asking now. How much more shit does Xbox have to do, does Phil Spencer have to do, in order to get people to leave his system completely? Like, that's... Because here's the deal. Like, I think Nelson or Will mentioned this. It's like they're playing the long game, right? It's like they're trying to get something set up.
These guys are the types that like would hold their wife's hand while Phil was fucking her.
The long
right.
game,
So,
dude.
but listen to what they're trying to get set up. Hear me out real quick.
7 years.
Hear me out. Let's put our thinking hats on, and here let's take I'm going to take myself out of this. Look at it and go, okay, we have PC, we have console, we have TVs now. We're going mobile, and we're giving them a cloud device in 2026 or 2025, maybe 26. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and think about this now. If we lose our console leg and switch all the way over to cloud, we still have 4 different platforms that people can use to access our games and to play our games and to have our subscription. Like, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility. This is what I said, close to when I started on the Saltiest Gaming podcast, was it seems like they're working themselves out of the console market. They don't want to be there anymore. They don't care to be there anymore.
They don't even say Xbox anymore. When the hell do you see? They're getting rid of all the logos. Even their fucking storefronts and shit, dude. It's going to Microsoft and shit. Like Xbox,
right?
They are trying to use that word less and less every goddamn
It's
year.
because they're trying to get their people to leave. Unity was trying to get their people to leave and try to destroy the company. You know what they did? They made it unbearable for the people who use their products and services, and now they're like, damn, we didn't want to destroy it that fast. We're so sorry. Like, but that's what they tried to do. That's why their CEO sold, or one of the CFOs, or one of the head guys in the company sold off so much stock the week before that announcement. Like, Xbox is trying to do the same thing. The problem is they have morons on the other side of the fence who are going to sit there and make up every excuse and hold on to Xbox with every last drip of coffee and it is terrible. And they're going to do it while looking at their Xbox refrigerator, next to their Xbox trash can, next to their Xbox paperweight, next to their Xbox booster. Like, they're
Oh, damn.
going to watch all of this shit fly down the toilet because Xbox isn't going to be around as a console company
Remember,
by next
Thrifty,
gen.
that all this bullshit that Xbox is doing, the console, Game Pass, PC, all this shit, they're doing everything but make fucking games. They're
Yep.
doing everything but invest in making a better quality game. Forget the console, forget the platform, forget all that shit. Let's just talk about gaming like we did earlier with Blasphemous. We can't say that shit about Xbox. We got to keep going back to the classics. How much longer can we keep doing
Yeah,
that?
but the thing is, they've never been able to manage studios. Almost all those studios, with the exception of Bungie, were second party.
Well, she
Let
didn't
them
even
get
do
what's
any
coming
more
to them,
second
dude.
party
Fuck
stuff.
them. Let
Yeah,
them.
they don't even do those kind of deals to get those kind of games made anymore. So,
But
Yeah,
I
like,
no,
mean,
they're
look,
willing.
No,
Gears
but
was
like,
supposed to come to everything. Fucking Forza Horizon, like Playground, they started working with Playground, and yeah, they finally bought them, and
but
now everyone's fucking leaving, of course. But
you know what's crazy is that, and the thing is like, their games are everywhere right now. They can't. The only places they are not are on Switches and PlayStations. And
don't worry,
that's
they're gonna buy
Minecraft.
Nintendo.
Yeah, they're gonna buy Nintendo. It'll be there. Like they're this experiment. People are talking about Phil's long game. Like goddamn, he's Kevin Feige in the Avengers. Like he's basically like this is his long game, the 12-year plan of Iron Man and shit. Like Phil Spencer long plan is his incompetence because there has been no plan. He has pivoted so many times, and the reason why you said that he doesn't make. They're not making games is because ever since Phil took over, or Microsoft and Frog says it's most, my co-host on the Grindhouse. He said it. He's like, there's too much Microsoft in Xbox. And once Xbox got a seat at the table and became part of the Microsoft thing, and Phil got the seat at the table, everything Xbox identity has been now just soiled with all Microsoft stuff. And you see this.
that's why he got the position, though. When Don Madrick came out and said,
yeah,
from fucking 360 and
he
shit,
got a
everyone was
seat.
pissed at him. But you know what? That came from, I guarantee he didn't make that decision. That came from up top.
Dude, what I'm saying is
The whole
they've
Xbox
been
One
making
launch.
games for the Microsoft vision, not for the gaming vision. Their gaming division exists because it's falling in line of the Microsoft vision of cloud. And doing all this using the technology, and that's the problem that they've been having. Their games have been crap ever since Quantum Break. I would say it started going downhill once they started doing PC, Xbox co-development day one on both platforms.
They completely stopped those second party deals though, and shit like that.
They
Even with
stopped
the
the
better
second
teams.
party deals, the timed exclusivity. They stopped all that stuff because what they started doing was making games for the service and making games for the tech, rather than making games as an art form and making games as an entertainment medium for people. Instead, it was a more of a proof of concept of how cloud could calculate damage, how Halo could be part of this, how this could do a free-to-play battle pass model. This is how Microsoft has evolved this stuff.
That's because they've
How-
seen,
how
let's be honest, they've seen
UWP.
Destiny and that success, and they're like, we're gonna do that too.
Well,
But you're not Bungie.
No, and they just wanted the tech, and then they wanted to build games for the tech and the service, and not for the game itself. They wanted Halo to be free to play so they could deal with the Battle Pass stuff. They wanted Crackdown to exist because they wanted cloud damaging. They wanted this crossplay stuff to work because they wanted to incorporate their PC stuff. So let's do this. They have always put and this cloud thing. They want the cloud. And has it worked? Look at their financials. Look at what was revealed. They're everywhere right now. The plan is in full effect. It is like DEFCON 5, right? It's done. There's nowhere else they can go. They're on Samsung TVs. It's over. It's everywhere. It's on iPads. Just wait for Apple.
You got 3 billion people right now that you could reach right now, but fucking
it's on
nobody gives a
browsers. It's on browsers. It is on a Chromebook.
When you open up any new PC, you got the goddamn thing popping up like, hey,
dude, I've been
goddamn Game Pass.
I've been running 3 months of Game Pass freebies that they've been giving with all my electronic devices. I got one with a Samsung tablet. I got one with a computer. They're just throwing out 3 months for this stuff. I got 3 with my Asus ROG, my Ally.
I had 6 months just from eating fucking trolleys at work.
Dude, Chips Ahoy, you get all this stuff.
Yeah, just go get some snacks.
Crazy. They're giving this shit all away.
Hey, and then whenever I cancel it, I cancel it or whatever, and then after a couple months they'd be like, "Yo, take it 3 months for free." Like, okay.
Yeah, come back. Like,
yeah.
Dude,
$1, $1, 3 months.
Oh my God, it is
3 for 5.
It is so ridiculous at that. And then if you look, like even with Starfield, that game had the most hype. It was like the biggest talked about thing. 10 million people, yeah, 10 million is good, but you got to think about where this 10 million is. People say God of War sold 3 million in this many days. Dude, it's on one platform.
And it's sold. Sold users.
And
look
it's
at
sold.
Even you remember I posted this yesterday, but fucking that shitty ass Oddworlds game, right? There was only like 12, 13 million PlayStation 5s even out in the wild. Probably, let's say 10 of those million were on PlayStation Plus. 4 million people downloaded that piece of shit. How many people made it past 5 minutes?
I know, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
I played it for 3.5 fucking minutes, and I deleted
it. Starfield is played on everything. Samsung TVs, your phone, your iPhone, your PC, everywhere. And 10 million people checked it out. But you gotta look at the install base.
And like 30 million people can just fucking download it for free and just delete the shit.
Well, yeah, and I think even Starfield came with AMD chips, didn't it? Or something came with AMD, didn't something come with?
Yeah, if you bought a card or you bought
the graphics
yeah, you could buy a special card.
You got a fucking
yeah. That was the initial.
I didn't even think of that. I'm sure that's counted too. Good God.
Well, it is. Everybody who logged on.
Hey, they pad everything.
What's messed up is the accessory thing. Y'all are talking about all the stats and everything. The accessory thing, the top 8 accessories were like all Sony products, and only one of them in the top 8 was not a controller, and it was the PSVR 2. Like, that's insane.
That niche product? What?
Yeah, the niche product that nobody wants, that everybody said is going to flop, that is only sold 1 million in the first 4 months. Like, right, they're selling you a refrigerator. Now they're going to give you a fucking trash can. Then they're going to give you a little handheld device that probably looks like a nugget wafer or something. I don't fucking know. They're gonna fuck that up though. They could screw up a wet dream at this point. I don't really know.
Well, they already had the Logitech G-Spot cloud.
The G-Spot, hey!
Yeah, that was $350 too, or whatever. $400 when
Dude, oh my God. Phil gave that as a gift to Kojima.
When you had that, you went to PAX or whatever.
PAX, dude, I had the exclusive interview.
It was like, you were the only guy in line. You got the.
Where's the line? He's like, there's no line.
So, Will, we haven't heard from you in a minute.
I watched that. That was funny as shit.
Where's the line? He goes, there's no line. I'm like, oh.
Hey, let's get Will's thoughts on some of this stuff, because we've kind of talked about a lot, and he's kind of sat back a little bit, so as the co-host, I want to see kind of what are your thoughts on all this, man? Are you own an Xbox? You played Starfield.
My son owns an Xbox.
You played Starfield.
I play Starfield.
It's like my son owns a Switch. I can't get past the fact that a Switch is in my house. I have to say I'm a Switch owner, because your son didn't buy that Switch or didn't buy that Xbox. You did. So you gave Microsoft your money. That's your fault. Don't blame your kid. So
after all the rebates and all the points I turned in from the gas station snacks, I mean, I really got it for free. But no, I mean, Jess is absolutely right. That's why I love watching this show, because he thinks logically, especially his history with Xbox, and he just realized, dude, I want to play some fucking games. And who's providing the games? It just comes down as simple as that. Who is providing games? Xbox sure as hell isn't. Once again, they're trying to leech off everybody else who's making games to put them in a platform that nobody really wants, into an app that nobody really wants, that they have to give away almost for free just to get people in there. Their numbers aren't going up, either by selling consoles or by getting subscribers. They're not selling any games. I mean, they're shitting money out, literally.
That's another thing they talk about. Oh, our Game Pass financials is up this much. Well, how much is your goddamn game sales down? I bet you it's more than what your service shit went up. You know what I mean? You don't ever factor that kind of shit in. Like, fucking.
The balance is way off.
That's pure profit too. That's
what
like pure profit is third party.
They're selling to what they're getting subscriptions. Of course, it's way off. And then now, if we get into some of the other camp, the preservationist they're also getting screwed out of this whole
Oh, they're
deal.
pissing those people off.
They're pissing them off big time. And I mean, I was just going through Reddit, and a lot of these guys, they're all about collecting. They really don't give a fuck from who. They just want to collect shit. They, I mean, they're Xbox is turning basically the whole gaming industry against them. They're not giving anything of quality out
Oh,
into the world.
I'm interested in what's gonna happen to people's library when they do this full cloud shit. Are they gonna get all third-party games fucking goddamn cloud, or what the
Well,
fuck's gonna happen?
that's when we're gonna see how good, what's the word, customer-friendly Xbox is to the bots.
They're gonna
That's
have to
when
do it
they're
all
gonna see.
themselves. They're not gonna get fucking third party to do like. Wait, you want us to put all our 360, all our Xbox One, all our fucking all that shit on fucking cloud?
And guys, this is
you know
the
how
big
long that's gonna
difference.
take? You know how much that's gonna cost?
This is the
Like,
big
are they
difference
gonna do it?
between Sony and Microsoft, right? Microsoft, their mid-gen refresh doesn't give you an option. You're going to go all digital, you're going to do what we say, and you're going to fucking like it.
Yep.
The PS5 Pro, there's going to be a detachable
That's why it's
disc
shaped
drive.
like a cylinder. Because they know where to bend over and you can put it.
Put it up your rear end. But like
That's it.
the PS5 Pro is
It
going to
doubles
come out
into
with a
a
detachable
Phil Spencer dildo.
disc. It's a detachable disc. Why is it a detachable disc? Why? Because Sony understands that their folks still like to buy physical. They sell out of all their collector's editions before anything else. Before anybody gets a chance, they're gone. And so Sony is looking at this going, okay, we want to go all digital, but we know there's a physical media base out there still with us that we don't really want to piss off. Tell you what, Mark, figure out how to put a freaking attachment on here and strap it onto the system and make it run Blu-rays. Figure that out. And guess what? He's figured it out because he is smart and he does his research. Meanwhile, Xbox doesn't do any research and just says, you know what? I think Redfall is going to be a great game. Let's send it out. You know what? I think going all digital is going to be a great game.
They didn't even look at it. There was fucking
Send
documents. They didn't even go look at that shit. They had no fucking clue.
Yeah.
They didn't even know about Hi-Fi Rush. They just knew they were making a fucking rhythm game. They never even seen the goddamn thing.
We were more hands off with Redfall because by the time we
Dude,
had
I
acquired
talked to
them,
somebody that
they were
worked at
already
Arcane.
working on
He said
it.
they were so hands off they didn't even fucking call, dude. Like they didn't even fucking weren't aware what they were
Booty
fucking
skipped
working
them
on.
over for coffee.
Yeah.
They didn't even get the booty
That's
bucks.
serious. He just left there like 8 months ago. He's like, dude, they were so hands off. They don't even call, dude. Like they don't even know what the fuck we're working on.
But they know that they
Hands-off
want us to make it
first
multiplayer.
development.
Hey guys, we want you to make this multiplayer. You want to see what we're working on? Nah,
Just
fuck
don't
that.
make
We
a
just want you to make
PlayStation
it
version.
multiplayer.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just don't
pretty
make a
much.
PlayStation
They
version.
make the phone call and then they hang up. Like, yeah, the PlayStation
it.
version, whatever you're working on, cancel.
Cancel
Okay,
the PS5 version.
We'll,
All right,
talk,
we'll
talk to you next year. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are.
He left Arcane though, but
I try to keep this show around 2 hours,
Arcane
but the
don't
last
miss.
topic, we're going to go ahead and talk about
Arcane
some
ain't made
really.
money since Dishonored 1. Just saying.
We're going to talk about some really, really good news. Okay? Push Square did an article, I think it was from today or yesterday, that talked about the PS5 and how gaming on the PS5 next year already looks insane. Actually, let me tell you exactly what they said because it caught my eye and I thought they were about to dog PlayStation, so I was looking. It said PlayStation's 24 release schedule is already a joke. And so I'm sitting there thinking, oh man, they're about to dog PlayStation. They're about to try to do that bullshit. I don't really see that from Push Square. Oh God, no. They're talking about all the freaking bangers that are coming out next year, along with the AAA titles. There's already about 40 games, about 25, 30 games being released next year that we have complete access to as PS5 owners. And so, like, next year, I don't know if, Jez, I didn't send the article to you because this was kind of impromptu, but I don't know if Will and Nelson got a chance to look at it. But do you see some of the things on here that we're going to be getting?
Yep.
Little Nightmares 3. They're doing a Cat Quest. No, that's Cat Quest 3 still.
Cat Quest 3.
Pacific Drive, Star Wars Outlaws. Pacific Drive, that's that VR game.
Star Wars Outlaws looks good.
Lost Soul
Yeah, it
Aside,
does.
Black Myth Wukong, Eiyuden Chronicles, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2, Persona 3 Reloaded. I'll skip Suicide Squad, Grand Blue Fantasy
Ugh.
Relink,
Oh my god, I can't wait for that.
Alone in the Dark, Tekken 8, Prince of Persia, and then Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like, guys, we thought this year was a wallet sink. Next year is going
just for
to
exclusives, dude, that aren't going to Xbox, in fucking February, you got Grand Blue, you got Final Fantasy Relink, and you got Helldivers in fucking February.
I thought
That's
Helldivers
just
was
February.
January. I think Helldivers is
End of
January.
January.
It's February.
Oh yeah, you're right. Beginning of
Damn,
February.
you are right.
They're all
Good
three coming in
Lord.
February.
Like,
Grand Blues in the
Damn, that's
first,
crazy.
like the first week, and then fucking I'm pissed because those are my two most anticipated games probably next year. I'm fucking
But Thrifty,
pumped for
this just goes
Helldivers.
to show you that PlayStation, on accident, is producing a AAA game every quarter. On
No,
accident.
they're doing 3 in a month. Well,
Just like
they're
on
Well,
exclusive, though.
the
accident-
thing is that they have a lot of those second party deals and just or the
Yeah, that's the
default
thing
that
is they don't
get,
completely rely on their own shit. They make these deals
yeah.
so that if they end up in their pipeline where oh shit we got 4 first
But
parties
Nelson,
coming out in
they're
6 months, they got
supplementing.
backup plans like you
They're
know.
supplementing.
right.
Look how the world gets whenever they announce Spider-Man. Look how the world gets when you have Final Fantasy. Look how the world gets when you don't get that with Xbox at all. The world gets like that to see how shit the game's gonna be. That's
And a lot
about
of
it.
those games continue to sell too. They're not just hot for the
Absolutely.
1 month they come out. Miles Morales is still selling.
Still selling,
And then you
top
look,
20.
God of War is still up there. Like they're still in the top 20 to 25.
Yeah,
for
no,
the year.
11 million. That
Like,
thing's easily past 15
Dude,
now.
stay.
when I heard
So,
that
like,
God
they
of
got-
War, when I heard God of War hit the top 10, I about fell over. I was like, how in the hell
I know.
is
I'm
it
like
in the
that
top
bitch hit
10?
11 million in like a month. What's it at, dude? Like 18? Like it's been like
yeah,
a year.
like that's they get some of that Nintendo stuff where those like Mario Kart's still in the top 10 like forever, and they get that stuff. So like it's when they release a game, it's not just like hot for February or hot for the month and then it just goes away. Like their games like last, they sell. And I think a lot has to do too with the uptick in all the PlayStation hardware that they're buying these games too. So it was kind of smart that they front loaded some of those big franchises in the beginning because people are buying that now as they get their PS5s.
Yeah, I mean, and I
Yeah,
found
that's another
out.
thing. Like people are like, oh, Forbidden West didn't sell that well. It's outselling Zero Dawn in the same
Dude,
time
Forbidden
frame,
West
and
is
that fucking
absolutely-
Well,
sold
that's
20 minutes.
because let's
That
be
was my
fair.
favorite game of the gen so
Zero
far,
Dawn
fucking
didn't
loved it.
get super popular until it started going sub $20 because it was a new
Yeah.
IP. Nobody knew about it. I kept hearing about it, but I didn't. It wasn't on my radar because there were so
I
many
started
other
playing
things.
it and I lost
And the
patience with it, and then I
DLC.
went back to it. And I was like, oh my god, I did the same.
And
with
so
it.
the
I
DLC.
bought
Like
it
my
for
favorite game ever.
$14.99. It came with the Frozen Wilds DLC. It was a full
Yeah.
expansion.
Oh, the Frozen
And
Wilds is fucking
I
fantastic.
was freaking hooked.
I played on
But
PS Plus.
yeah, this Game Pass subscriber over here, I waited
Yeah.
for the subscription
Oh,
service.
shit.
Well, I didn't wait for it. I just saw it and played it. But that's the thing. PlayStation gives you options. Like I said,
The
I'm
only thing
playing
about
Blasphemy.
Forbidden West is the story wasn't as good as the first one because it's more of a build up for like 3. You know what I mean? It's kind of laying the fucking groundwork for like there's some wicked shit gonna happen in 3. Like
Listen,
fucking
it's
shit's gonna come
Matrix
from
Reloaded.
space to annihilate the world and shit. You know, it's gonna be fucking retarded. It's gonna be crazy.
It is
That
Matrix
DLC
Reloaded.
was
That's
absolutely
all it is.
incredible.
Horizon
The DLC.
Forbidden West is nothing more than the Matrix Reloaded. Leaves you on a cliffhanger. I haven't even beat the damn game, and I know it does that. And
Yeah,
then
it
it
does.
leaves you
It
on
really
a cliffhanger, and you're setting up the third movie. That's all it is. Almost every trilogy does this. You got to think Spider-Man 2 across
Yeah,
the
the big
Spider-Verse.
revelations are in 1.
These
2's
big
building up to
revelations
3, and
happen.
3's got the massive conclusion.
But there's still stuff that needs to be resolved at the end of the movie. And so, like, companies do this. I think the story where they're taking it actually had me really excited, especially with where I'm at in the game right now, because I just saw some stuff and that I wasn't thinking I was going to see. So it was really cool. It changed it from just like, hey, go defeat these quote-unquote software programs and these algorithms, and then you save the world. There's, like, more layers to it than just that. And so I'm super excited for next year. I was really sad that Stellar Blade was not on the list of titles that we're expecting next year because I want to know what happened to that game. Because
I think
that
it will
game,
be, but I don't. It might be all the way till fall next year, though. They're
Dude.
not gonna get. They're not gonna set a date. They're not gonna set a date until they know they can make that date.
but it looks like such a, for somebody who loved Parasite Eve, I
like
want
that
to
too, and
play
I
this game
fucking-
so bad. It looks like
And
a
I'm a
better
big DMC fan.
Parasite
it's like
Eve.
Parasite Eve and DMC fucking had a fucking goddamn rabies child or something. I don't know.
Right. And now that oh crap, the game's locked behind Nintendo now. Bayonetta, thank you. I was like, that game is awesome, and this game is kind of filling that void that Bayonetta 3 because we didn't get it, and I was super hyped about that game, but I'm not playing that on the Switch. It runs god awful. But like, we are going to be eating so good next year. We have games that, yeah, you know what? The end of 2024, they're not giving us just a ton, but they're giving us enough. And then starting in 2023, those games are ours. I'm going to have to make a huge decision. Do I want Helldivers? Do I want Final Fantasy? Let's be honest, I'm getting Final Fantasy. So do I want Helldivers or do I want one of these other amazing titles that are coming out? It makes somebody like me go, dang, I got to figure this crap out because if I'm not careful, next year is going to be a 7-game year for me.
Dude, it's
And
business as usual with PlayStation. That's all this is. It's business as usual.
Right.
It's not like that with Xbox. It's like that with Nintendo. It's just it's
Dude, that
it's
Nintendo
simple.
Direct was awesome. They got
It
me.
was.
There's some great
Yeah,
games. in
Nintendo.
there.
I'm not gonna lie,
Absolutely.
fucking Nintendo. I like everyone's like, oh, they're fucking what?
They did better
Dude,
than PlayStation. I
there
don't
was
care
like,
who wants to bitch at me.
Dude,
I was
that Nintendo
disappointed.
Direct was awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
fucking
very
liked
good.
like 3/4 of it. Like I wanted, I'm like, I'm gonna buy it or play. It
That
might
new
not be on
Donkey
Switch,
Kong
but
game,
fucking A.
dude,
That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Donkey Kong, fucking the Princess Peach game. My kids will love
That
that,
Princess
shit.
Peach,
Fucking
I
Mario
know.
Wonder. Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
fucking cool. They had that fucking Contra game. They had that.
Yeah.
dude, that
Yeah.
Contra game is day
Yeah,
one for
I
me.
was like,
fucking dope,
finally,
dude.
like
I
a
grew up on
regular-
that shit.
Dude, I was like, when I saw Contra, I was like, I bet I'll be
Goddamn.
like that trash one that they made, that Contra Ops, or whatever the hell that one was.
Oh god.
The Rogue
No.
Core or whatever.
The Rogue, whatever the hell that thing is. Like, what the hell is that?
So, and listen to what we're saying though. Look at how much excitement was just had over a few Nintendo titles that are just announced, and people come in and go, well, they're just relying on their own IPs, and that's it, and that's all people like Nintendo for.
Yeah, but
they
Nintendo
do
has been
what,
Yeah, but they're good at it.
they're
Goddamn
good at
right.
it, and not only that, they've been using the same old IPs, but they do something different with it.
With the gameplay, yeah.
Yes, Xbox has been using the same IP for 20 years, but it's
And
still
the
the
same
same
gameplay.
shit.
Years
And
of
the
years
same
uses the
gameplay.
same goddamn
See,
running
that's the thing, like, even
animations
that
over
Peach-
5 games.
Dude, even the Peach game, like, yeah, it's Princess
Yes.
Peach, but they give the outfits that
It's
change
brand
gameplay.
new.
So
Yeah,
it's
she's got a
all
sword. You ever
different.
seen
And they-
Princess Peach with a sword? That bitch ain't never had
Yeah,
a
like
sword.
Ninja Peach, and they put it in a backdrop of a theater. Like, they take things where it's like Halo. It's like, hey, look at the ring. Dude, we've seen the ring 5,000 times. Like, let's do something else in Halo. Like the thing is, they don't friggin' evolve their games. Like, oh, Forza Horizon, yeah, let's not add motorcycles or anything. The Crew Motorsport destroys it in its variety of races and
Dude,
cars.
the Crew, I'm
and
gonna
do-
buy
and
it.
nothing.
I played the 5-hour demo. I'm gonna buy it here next
Dude,
week when
I
I get
love
don't
paid.
do that.
man.
Don't
And
do that.
I
you know,
love that
I didn't
Crew.
say this last time, but my kid, he's 7. He's against old games. Any game that's like looks old, pixelated,
Yeah, my
he's
son's
a
the same
hater.
way.
My
You
kid's
don't
not
even
like
care.
I
that.
was
My kid's
playing-
fucking favorite game is Mega Man X, dude. That shit's from like 94.
I was
I was about
playing
to say, my son
Starfield.
plays Super Mario 3 on his Switch. Like,
I was playing
Shit.
Starfield,
Oh.
dude. I picked him up from school. I paused it. I picked him up from school. It's his Xbox. I turn it on so I can do a full shutdown before transferring the Xbox back to his room. And he says, "When did this? This is an old game, Dad. I didn't know that. You know that we had this game." I'm like, "No, this is not an old game. This is a brand new game. It's Starfield." But my 7-year-old kid is accusing Starfield of being an old ass game.
It does
And
look
he's not
old,
Dude, it
wrong.
looks
damn it.
like the
It's
old
designed
He's
like
not
it was
wrong.
designed in
Looks
8,
terrible.
2008.
It looks like Fallout. It
A
looks
7-year-old
like,
kid is able to tell that this brand new
It
AAA
looks like
fucking
Skyrim, like the
yes.
old game
old.
style.
It's
It's
old. The
designed that
gameplay
way,
is old.
too.
Everything
Fuck.
is
It's
old.
designed that way.
So it just goes
looks
to
like
show
old gameplay.
that Xbox, even with their new shit, is still old shit. They just can't do it. Nintendo, they're still using their old shit, but it still feels brand new. And PlayStation, well, it's fucking PlayStation. They're giving us high quality games to play. They don't have a coffee running like booty. You know, they actually got their
Booty.
employees working. They're keeping them happy. They're paying them well. People want to go work for PlayStation. They want to bring their artistic qualities over there. They want to bring their ingenuity over there. You got people like Cerny who wants to go work for PlayStation. You don't hear that from Xbox. They're dying. In 3 years, we'll see the final nail in the coffin, hopefully. You know, I was against it because I'm like, hey, if Xbox goes away, who's the competition for PlayStation? But like you guys said, they haven't been competition for the last decade any fucking ways. What are we missing out? More Halo, more Forza? We can replay them on Game Pass for $1.
right. All it does for me is makes my content harder to find. Like, that's all it does.
Yeah,
because
'cause
right
that
now
shit
these
just
shows
writes
write them
itself.
fucking selves. Like,
They write themselves. Phil Spencer, like, I remember when I started my channel stuff and I just didn't like what Xbox was doing. They're like, well, what happens when Xbox does well? I'm like, Not with this regime, and Phil Spencer has provided tons of hypocrisy.
That ain't happening until they fucking clean house.
Dude, they got to get rid of him. He has to go. And when Phil Spencer
they
leaves,
gotta completely clean house and like get some fucking vice presidents of like fucking Nintendo and Capcom and fucking people who know what the fuck they're doing. Like that, they'd have to just completely wash that fucking.
They gotta get rid. Yeah, they gotta get rid of Phil Spencer.
Guys, I think we're all on the same page on that one. It's been a great show tonight. We are going to go ahead and end it. I like to keep these things around 2 hours. It's been about 2.5 now. Jez, thanks for stopping by. Guys, if anybody's in here and doesn't know who the hell this guy is, he is one of the, if not the best, single stage podcasters. I don't even know if that's the right word. He does a lot of shows by himself. They're funny as hell.
Yep. Only channel member that only podcast that I'm a member of. That's how good Jess's show is. Go check it out Monday night.
Thank you.
Only one I paid for, and I'm going
to announce now. I have some. I've been searching the interwebs, and I got brand new booty songs, new Grindhouse songs.
Great.
We got some new songs.
Let's go.
We got the Giggles.
Grindhouse
Records.
Thank you, Josh. Josh was like, it's called a solo cast. I appreciate it. Yes. He's hilarious. His co-host is great. Frogs is awesome, even though you can't trust his taste in women at all. He hates redheads, so we got to be careful with that.
That was wild, man.
He thinks that time. Yeah, he thought that Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West looked like dog, and that was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what everybody knows him for now.
I listen to most episodes more than once, but fucking I can't remember everything, of course.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I do a lot of research, too.
People are still making those jokes.
Rattle the cage with that one.
All right, Jez, if nobody's here that doesn't know who you are, which is probably slim chance, where's your channel, man?
Oh, it's over at, what a pleasure, man. This is awesome, and thanks. You were on it last week. You came on. It was last week or this week, dude. You jumped on, dude. That's how it is, man. It is awesome, an awesome show. And thanks for the invite. I've been listening. I was on playing Mortal Kombat, but I think it's great that you do this on the PlayStation, just the party chat and stuff. That's really cool. And keep doing it. Hit that like button, everybody. And you could find me over at Jez7780 Gaming Grindhouse on YouTube.
Fantastic. Nelson, where can people find you to get the sometimes irrational hot takes? Where they got you?
Well, okay. Nelson Gaming 12 on PlayStation, Nelson Gaming 778 on Xbox. You'll never see me there, though, unless I'm playing Killer Instinct with my kid. Or KOTOR or something fucking really old. Nelson Gaming 12 on Twitter. And I've been meaning to get a podcast going, but I can't buy Windows. It's like buying a hernia.
You got a PS5. It works. And then...
Yeah, that's how I did a PS4. I started uploading stuff that you can't even do it on Xbox. You could upload content to YouTube, and that's how you start.
Yep, that's exactly how you start. It's just like streaming, and it works out well.
I started streaming from my PlayStation 4 because I didn't want to do the PC setup stuff.
I'm about $900 lacking on getting all my PC stuff to be able to do it. But Will, thank you. You are my official co-host for the show. And so I am super grateful to you. It was wonderful having you on tonight. Where can folks find you, Will?
Well, you guys can find me here at Thrifty's Podcast Wednesday nights, 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or you can find me on, I refuse to call it X for now, but Twitter, Will777JP, same thing on PlayStation. But man, it's always a pleasure. It's a great time coming in, having, talking games with you guys and our guests. And Jez, super awesome to have you on tonight. Thank you, Nelson, as well. But hit me up on there, guys.
Guys, that's the end of the show. Thank y'all for stopping by for the 101 upload because YouTube sniped me earlier. It was supposed to be the 100th upload.
It did it across everywhere, dude. All the podcasts got sniped. Like everybody. YouTube had a Phil Ness moment.
It just died. Fought. And I just did a survey for YouTube earlier for content creators and stuff like that, and I want to change some of my answers now. But guys, y'all have a good night, and we are officially out of here. And as always, stay thrifty.